What's up, guys? I'm doing a late night run here, 6:52 p.m. EST. So getting a little late, but I wanted to hit my goal, so I'm going out. In this video, I just want to talk about something I've been seeing the past couple weeks. Some of you guys might know the dude's name. I don't know his name. I know he's like 30 something or 32, and he just got let go by 7-Eleven, right? I don't know too much on his backstory. Again, you guys might have seen him before, but I guess he started working 3 years ago. His plan was to, I don't think he's in the 30s yet. I think he's like 26. But anyways, he planned on staying there for a little bit, but before he hit 30, he was gonna, make things happen. He was gonna make more money than he was at the time. He was essentially planning on upgrading everything in his life. Well, it didn't end up happening for him, and he was making the video because he just got fired from his 7-Eleven job. And when I saw that video, I had to come on here and make a video on myself on what I think about that. Is I think everyone, despite what your goals are, despite what your plans are, always have a plan in place, right? Because you might have something in place, but you don't have a backup plan. Plan A blows up, you don't have a plan B, now what, right? And that's like my main thing. I personally always try to look ahead, or a couple steps ahead. It's a weird thing about me. Like, I've always wanted to be known as that person that thinks steps ahead. Watching movies and anime and all these cartoons, the character that's always ahead is the one that's like, oh, I thought a couple of steps ahead of you before you even got there, like stuff like that. So I always try to incorporate that into real life, and just thinking steps ahead. And this applies to everything in life. Like, literally, like, even if, like, let's say you're driving a vehicle and you're driving in intense, like, snow. It's slippery everywhere. It's icy everywhere. Well, if something were to happen, you start sliding, what are you going to do, right? In my head, because I've driven in the ice before, driven in the snow before, I've intentionally tried to make my car slide to see what happens when I turn the wheel this way or that way or pump the brakes. So I'm already kind of prepared, right? There's no way to be 100% prepared, but prepared to as close to 100% as you can be, right? If I'm in that situation where I'm driving in the snow and I start sliding, I already know. And with my car, it's not that great in the snow, but I can control it. I'm just gonna pump the brakes. I'm gonna maneuver the steering wheel a certain way to where I know, I'm in control for the most part. Now, if you don't have control of something, there's nothing you can do. But what you do does play a part in what happens ultimately. And again, this applies to everything in life. You always gotta have a plan B and always try to think steps ahead. If you go, let's say next month, you start a new job, right? Try to envision, how long are you gonna stay at this company? What's it gonna be like working at this company? How much are you trying to make at this company? How long are you gonna stay there for, right? What's the plan B if maybe they rescind their job offer? What if they pull that back? Do you have something else in place to replace that job that you thought you were gonna have? Like, these are things you gotta think about. So to go back onto the dude that got fired from 7-Eleven, he had a lot of plans in place and a lot of visions in place. But, and I'm not judging him or anything like that, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. As corny as that sounds, that's something I learned a long time ago. And I still make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to talk over here like I'm perfect. I just quit my job. I put in my 2.5 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks ago now. And I took that big risk to do gig work full time. And I don't want to make this video about me, but it's just like, I took on this risk and I have plans in place to where if this doesn't work out, I already have something else lined up. And if I wanted to get a job, I have a high chance of getting that job. Nothing is guaranteed in life, but you can do your best to try to prepare yourself the most that you can be, right? Try to prepare yourself so you're not screwed over, so you're not living in a freaking box under the highway, right? I had a comment, actually, someone talking about that, like they're literally living in their car. I think they're in Florida or something. I'm like, oh man, he's not the first person that I've heard has trouble finding a job in Florida. And like, I've heard it's all around, it's always a tough time trying to find a job in the state of Florida. Now, I'm in Massachusetts. If I were in that situation, I feel like I would be okay. I literally feel like I would be okay. Don't have a rent expense, right? If you're in a vehicle that you've already paid off, you don't have that expense. Like, he was trying, I hope, and if you're watching this video, you know who you are. I hope that they were, looking at the positives, because when you feel like you're at your rock bottom, there's only one place to go. It's up, right? So if in this situation where someone's living in their vehicle, just look at it as a blessing in disguise, right? Hopefully they don't have expenses, right? Hopefully they're not making payments on the car that they're sleeping in. But take that as motivation to start stacking up money. Start, you can sign up for gigs. If you could be sending out applications. You could do 5-10 job applications a day and still not get a job. But you can sign up if you're hopefully signed up to these gig apps. And if you're watching these videos, guys, try to sign up to as many gig apps as possible in the event that you were to lose your job. What if what happened in 2020 were to happen again, right? There's no job security. No one knows what to do in that situation. It's the first time that there was, I don't even know if I can say it, lockdown, right? In 2020, it was crazy. I personally left my job at that time because they had cut our hours. I told the story in another video. Long story short, I worked with my brother at the time, and we would guarantee 45 hours. But when the pandemic happened, all the hours started getting backtracked. We can only work 18 hours a week. So what I did, I told the owner, I didn't even ask. I told the owner, I said, hey, my brother can have my hours. That's totally fine. Honestly, not going to be able to make a living with 18 hours a week when normally, we're working 45 hours a week. And the owner is generous enough to give us those extra 5 hours of overtime. That's cool. But in that situation, you kind of have to think ahead. So I was thinking ahead. My brother's not going to be able to live off of that. So I'm going to give him my hours. That way there's enough work for him. And I'm going to take the leap, take the risk. And at the time I was doing Instacart full time. Now, I always regret taking it for granted. Instacart was so crazy at the time, where it was an average $45 to $55 per order that you could probably do in under 30-40 minutes, right? Not all of them were easy, but a lot of them were easy. And I settled for $150, $200 a day when I could have made $400, $500 a day. That was my opportunity to stack crazy money, and I got comfortable. Now I don't want to change the subject of the video, but that's another thing. When you're eventually, in that space where you're comfortable, you're on a roll, don't get too comfortable, right? Always keep challenging yourself, because you never know when you're going to need that plan B, right? Or plan C, plan D. Like, keep going, right? Have multiple plans in place, multiple contingencies in place, to where if something were to happen and you had to leave your job, now you still have steady income if you're able to work. Obviously, you do have to have a car for most of these, but there are gigs and apps out there that you could simply just be a helper, right? For example, I think Lugs or Dolly is one of them, where you could just be a helper to someone that has a vehicle, right? And those apps, those platforms are apps that, you help people move either furniture, appliances. You can help someone do a whole move from one house to another. Like, it depends. I don't know the ins and outs of those apps, but you know, there's options out there. You don't have to have a car to do these gig apps. There's people that do DoorDash in major cities by either buying a scooter or renting a scooter or an e-bike. There's a lot of options, guys. You guys can definitely make it happen. You just have to look for the opportunity and be prepared for when the opportunity is there. Again, this is a sign. Make sure you sign up for as many apps as possible. Because if you don't, let's say you had to leave your job, or maybe your job lets you go, what are you gonna do, right? I'm blessed enough that I was able to just leave my job. You know, I liked where I worked. I was getting bored of it. I felt like I could have been making more money, so I took the leap. And right now, I'm doing Spark, right? Granted, I'm working more hours, but I'm having fun doing it. I'm in my own vehicle. And my plan B, you know, if I didn't want to do Spark anymore, I could just do Lyft and do a get into that rental program. I don't even need to drive my own vehicle. I could drive a rental, right? And you know, I'm doing this so I can get another vehicle, so I can move out to, of where me and my girl are living at. You know, just saving up for that. But in the meantime, I have bills that I'm catching up on, which is the reason why I had to make a change. Once you feel that pressure, you have to act on it. You don't want to be one of these people that just let things pile up until it's too late. And there's people like that, right? And right now it's tax season too. A lot of people are getting the returns. I also see a lot of people that took advantage of those unemployment benefits back in 2020. They're repaying those now. This video is not about that, but I just feel like I should say that. You know, a lot of us were working during those times, and some of you guys are working from home, which is, must be nice. As you guys heard, I was doing Instacart, so I was out there, I wasn't scared of anything. I just went out there. I saw the bigger picture. I honestly thought the world is going to be like that for years. But that pandemic only lasted a couple months. Not even. So, a lot of people took advantage during those times. Some people started mask selling businesses because everyone needed a mask. Someone saw a problem and found out a solution, right? Be that problem solver. Be that person that could fill in that gap, right? There's always opportunity to make money, guys. And I have a lot of videos on my page talking about how you can make money either on these apps, on side gigs, off businesses. I'm strongly considering, I gave you guys advice on another video the other day, and I'm strongly considering going back to doing one myself. I used to detail cars and trucks. And because I go to so many houses every single day, that's an opportunity for me to start handing out flyers saying, hey, in the spring and summertime, I detail cars. If you're interested, contact me at this email, right? And I can start doing that again, right? And try to maximize my income. When I first started detailing cars, I did screw myself over. So if you guys, that's some free game for you guys. If you guys are good at like attention to detail and cleaning and detailing cars, that's good money right there. When I first started, I only charged $40, and sometimes this one car took me almost 2 hours to clean. That's not good per hour, especially when I'm paying to I didn't have a facility, so I would actually bring it to a car wash and I'd rinse it off, try to get it clean on the outside as quick as possible. Sometimes I'd have to do it again. So I'd ultimately be spending like $7 between the vacuum and the washer. I didn't have my own equipment at the time, right? So don't be like me and undercharge. If you go to a detailing place, professional detailer, they're gonna charge you anywhere from $90 to $150, sometimes $200 to detail your vehicle. You can start, once you build up that confidence, start at 70, 80, 90, start working your way up. Get your materials after your first couple details. Start with friends and family. Say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm detailing cars. If you're interested, let me know. I'm available between these times, blah, blah, blah. And then just get going like that. There's money to be made out there. You just have to go out and want it, guys. You have to know where to find it, and you have to execute, right? This video is going on a little long, so I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys, but hopefully you guys got something out of that. I know I kind of veered a little bit off topic, but just always the message behind this video, guys, always have a plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, like tons of plans, guys. Try to be as prepared as possible. That way you're not caught out in the open just without anything, right? This applies to anything, not just jobs. This applies to anything. Always have plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? Have extra plans so that if something were to happen, you can take care of it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. If you got something out of this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe onto this video. And be sure to check out my other videos on my channel, guys. You'll get a lot out of it. Oh, you'll get a lot out of it. Jeez, I can't even talk. But I think that's a sign. I gotta end the video, guys. Until next time, I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, guys.